Today we're hoping to demystify something that is always portrayed as super complicated and absolutely should not be: how to buy your first home. My name is Greg de Denus. We're here with the de Denus team in Hamilton, Ontario. As always, if you enjoy this kind of content, click like and subscribe below. And if you'd like to book an appointment with myself or a member of our team, hit the link below and we will get back to you shortly. Let's dive right in. So how do you buy your first home? The first part is the not fun part, and that is saving for a down payment. In my current market, you should start looking at buying a home when you have $25,000 saved up. Have a sacred account to do this. There's a lot of places where you can save that money tax-free. We have the first-time homebuyers account, which is a nice alternative to withdrawing from your RSPs, but $25,000 in my market and surrounding areas is the magic number when you want to start thinking about looking for a home. I'm not a big fan of cutting down on lifestyle expenses. I'm definitely a fan of increasing your income. It's always easier to earn more than it is to save more. At least that is for me, from my own personal experience. I've never been great at saving, but I am great at increasing my income. Extra shifts, extra jobs, side hustle, bank a little bit of extra money every month to get to that $25,000 number. Having that goal in mind can be super helpful too. And these numbers do seem really, really big, but breaking them down into small amounts can be helpful too. Okay, 25 grand in a year, approximately just over $2,000 a month. How much is that per week? How can I put my hands on an extra $500 a week to get towards my goal of home ownership? So that is step number one. Easier said than done, I realize that. Once you have that money saved in a sacred account, you're not going to go on vacation to Vegas and bet it all on black. You have that put aside for yourself and your dreams of home ownership. This is when you want to consult with a mortgage professional and find out what your affordability is based on your income. Now, there's going to be some factors here to determine how much you can afford to buy. That is going to be your income, your credit rating, and the amount of your down payment. Lending criteria is really strict now, so it is key that you work with an excellent mortgage professional. We do have fantastic referrals, so we can definitely put you in touch with someone who can help guide you along that journey. Number three, the fun part. This is where we come in. Find yourself a great agent who will sit down with you and go over an entire consultation with you, figuring out what your needs and wants actually are. Typically, the first-time home buyers we're seeing right now, they're saying, I don't really care what it is as long as I own it. So a lot of first-time home buyers with their first jobs out of school, maybe they've been in the workforce for 5 to 7 years, they've managed to save up that down payment. They're saying, okay, I figured out my affordability. It's around $500,000 to $600,000. What can I get for that? And we'll sit down and we'll show them. We'll say, okay, here's everything that's sold in our market in the last 30 days in this price point. Based on what you're saying, which one of these homes has the most features and area that you are looking for? And if it's not in our market, where can we go to find that home for you? This is not rocket science. Every agent should be able to say, hey, you have a max budget of $550,000. Cool. Here's everything in our market that is sold in $550,000 in the last week to 30 days. So that is a relevant timestamp for the market that you're looking in. Does anything in here appeal to you? No. Let's go a little bit wider. What about out here? Actually, yeah, you know what? That's 10 minutes more to my commute. I'm willing to go there because I can see for that price, I can get an extra bedroom and a parking spot, which are my non-negotiables. Don't discount condos, especially older condos where you have bigger square footage. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, oh my gosh, I can't wait to, get married and have kids and have a family in a 300 square foot condo in the sky. No. New condos where, these micro units, those were built to appeal to the investor class. It's the only reason why they got built when rents were so high. So once you've identified with your agent, okay, this is the area where the affordability and the amenities match, go out and look at that home. That's great. Typically, when we work with clients, we see about 10 to 15 houses before they write an offer. Sometimes it's even less than that, 5 to 10. Sometimes it's the first home that you see. And that's okay. If you're prepared, you're motivated, you see the first thing right away, sure, write an offer on that home. It might not be there next week. The first home doesn't have to be the forever home. However, if you find yourself in the enviable position where it's like, you know what? This house, for a little bit more money, I could see myself living here for 50, 60 years. Do it. Moving is really expensive and hugely inconvenient. It's worth a little bit more up front to get in that home where you never have to move again. I'm a real estate agent. Obviously, our livelihood is dependent on people buying and selling real estate, but I'd rather see a client get into a home that they never have to move out of ever for 50 years than have to move every 3 to 5 years to do the upgrades. This is where the skill of your agent really comes in, to help decipher what you say into what you want, and then putting the two pieces together and identifying in the marketplace where you're most likely to be successful. The media loves to do this. They'll put out videos of people who say, I've been looking at houses for 3 years and I've lost out every single time in a bidding war. There's typically way more to the story than that. Usually in that situation, if we meet someone, at an open house or on one of our listings, say, well, I've been looking for 3.5 years. Typically that person is looking outside of their affordability. They'll see a home that's, $600,000 in an $800,000 neighborhood, not understanding that price is there to generate multiple offers, or they're looking at homes in neighborhoods hoping that the sellers will just relinquish that asset for far less than it's worth just because they want it. Neither one of those two things are realistic, clearly. If you're looking outside of your affordability, that can be a recipe for disaster as well, because typically what happens is in that time frame, housing prices steadily rise, and those buyers are seeing the quality of the product of what they can get eroded over time. Be very realistic about your affordability. That will allow you to act decisively, and understand it doesn't have to be your forever home. Typically, 3 years in a home is your break-even point. 5 years is when you start building serious equity in your home. The standard Canadian mortgage is a 5-year fixed rate. This is when folks start thinking about making a move. Canadians typically move every 7 years. So once you've made an offer on a home, you've acquired it. This is where we have our due diligence period. So you'll have a home inspection where an inspector will come through. Now, we also advise folks, put away an extra $2,500 for home inspections. Typically going to cost you $500 tax in. Don't write an offer on our house that you're not 100% sure of, where you're kind of looking for a way out. Paying for multiple home inspections kind of sucks. Where an inspector will come through, let you know if there's any kind of strange bugaboos going on with the home. If it's uncovered that there's a structural issue, perhaps there's major electrical work to be done behind the panel, maybe there's some strange plumbing stuff, that's a time when you can negotiate with the seller. You can decide, okay, maybe this isn't the house for me. I'm not willing to take on these repairs. Maybe you can come to an agreement where you guys share the cost of repair and move forward with the purchase. But usually when you write an offer, 90% of the time that will come through to completion. So when you sign off on your conditions, that's when things move over to the lawyer side of things. Once you get a real estate lawyer, we're going to send them their agreement of purchase and sale. They're going to look at all the terms of conditions. Your lender, who you talk to in step 2, is going to send them all the mortgage instructions. You will give that lawyer the remainder of your down payment held in their trust account. Your lender will forward them the funds, and then they will close the deal. During this period, this is when you typically will revisit the home. You want to make sure that the home that you bought is the home that you're moving into. So it's good to go back to the home a day before closing, make sure there isn't 2 inches of water in the basement, the appliances are still there and someone hasn't driven a car through it, normal standard stuff. You give your lawyer the okay, you get the keys, title is transferred into your name. Happy days, you're moving to your first home. Your trusty real estate agent will drive by slowly enough to frisbee a pizza at you when you're moving in, and we say congratulations on your first home. It is an incredible thing to own a home. Having ownership of your own property, your own land, being able to do whatever you want and to be building that future for yourself is a fantastic feeling. If you have questions about getting started on your real estate journey, please do reach out to us. We're happy to chat with anyone, no matter how far out or how imminent your real estate purchase is. We always love chatting with prospective home buyers and sellers. Till next time.